Howdy howdy, good day friends, welcome back to Ecocentric. Got a bunch of seeds to plant today. This year I'm planning on doing the planting dates somewhat by what the companies recommend. And this file here I downloaded, I don't know where from. I did make some modifications to some of the plants that I am familiar with, and so I know when about I can plant them. The other thing is this red one it says sow outdoors under double row cover. Nothing is getting sowed outdoors here before sometime in April. No year. So anything that was before 4/26 here, because currently you see up top here I have, and this is on the government website, says that our last frost date is May the 25th. 7 weeks before our last frost. Maybe some places like 8-9 weeks before your last frost you can plant stuff outside, but you ain't doing it in Newfoundland. So anything that told me to plant outside before April 6th there, I just deleted all of that. And that in combination with, I went online, and this planting date I have here, this is my list of possible crops that I'm going to try. But the planting date here is the planting weeks before the last frost. And I have my list of what I'm going to plant this year. It turns red after the date is passed. You see this planting date? And I've got it ordered now, the table ordered by planting date. So they're all up top, what has passed. And now we're down to 03/30, March the 30th. And I have this list here, plus Aster Early Charm, because I got tomorrow for that one, so I said, well, I might as well plant it today. The peppers are for April the 4th, and then our tomato plants for the 6th, so next week I'll plant those. Today I have amaranth, Love Lies Bleeding, broccoli Arcadia. That gets along fairly well here, so this is the one I'm concentrating on trying to get a good head from broccoli right now. This one, broccoli Romanesco, I got ahead of that last year, and boy was that good. So that's two I'm concentrating on to get for broccoli. And then I have cabbage baby choy. I really like this cabbage, and it does fairly well. So that's the Red Express. The Hurley Round Dutch, that was from last year. I have 8 seeds left from not last year but the year before. The seeds that were sent out last spring from Shed Wars. And then from Shed Wars 2021, Cabbage Golden Acre. Hurley Snowball is one that I normally try. And when I was looking at different possibilities for cauliflower at West Coast Seeds, I came across this one. It's Snow Crown Organic. I don't think it's quite white, and it doesn't need as much of the blanching from the leaves as the early Snowball does. So that's why I chose that one. We're going to plant that one. Somewhere along the way, I got that lettuce, Early Curled Simpson, and Lolo Rosa can be planted quite early. We'll see. I'll put them in and see what happens. A dill that I collected last year. I'm going to grow some dill and put in among the main herbs that I have out there now. Some of these, like Echinacea, now if you know, they'll flower in the second year. They don't flower the first year. I might be planting more than these. The ones that I'm planting just for myself, I'm going to plant 10. But this type of thing, and I'm going to plant a bunch of goji. And what I'm thinking about doing is holding them in planters and having them close to the house so I can baby them along until they get a fair size. I'm finding that just putting them out when they're very small, they don't have the strength to make it. I'll be much better off babying them until they get up 2 or 3 years old before I plant them out, and the ones that I have extra I might be able to sell as well. And that's Aunt Molly's ground cherry. I tried that one time before, but I wasn't successful. I'm going to try again this year. Butterfly milkweed, I got that growing one year, and then every time I tried to harden it off, it would just die back, and I bring it back in, and it would perk up, and the second I put it outside again, no, couldn't get it. So I'm going to try again. Asters, that is a insect repellent, if my memory serves me correctly. Anyway, they are a good plant to plant among the tomatoes, is my understanding. So that's where asters are going to be going this year. I am trying one of these with onions in, as you know, but I have 2 more. I'm going to start the seeds in here, and as they get up and growing, I'll hot pot them. Same way the lady at the nursery does down in Looseport. She starts them in these, and she up pots them, and then up pots them again. I'm wearing gloves today, just cause. So this is 200 cells, so I got 400 cells to plant seeds in if I just do these 2 trays. So now remember, I use a wicking mat, so I have to put that in lightly and then make sure I poke every one down to make it, the soil go right to the bottom. Now once I got that done, basically I just need to fill them up then. And then on seeds, it's not going to be as easy with gloves on, so off come the gloves. Now what are we going to start with? Amaranth might be one of those that I'll do more than 10 in, so I'll leave that till later, and we'll go with broccoli first. Broccoli Arcadia. See, I do this, I don't have to worry if I get distracted. It's like, well, did I put a seed in there? If I add a little hole for them to go down into, then they'd go and disappear. And I wouldn't know if I got distracted. I wouldn't know if I actually put one in that cell or not. Whatever he does, don't forget to label them. Now I'm putting on this little sticky label here, but I'm going to make one of those aluminum labels and to go up because of the moisture. That could fall off. But just for right now, they're lying around, so I'm going to just put it there. Hour's time I'll make the aluminum label. So yeah, that's all is needed for that. and we'll go with the next one, which is broccoli Romanesco. Hopefully I got 10 seeds. Not many seeds there. Nice. This is a earlier maturing cabbage, and it's not really a head cabbage. When I grew these before, I didn't know how I was supposed to harvest them, and that was my main downfall there. This year I'll know better. Early Round Dutch is another one. I only have 8 seeds here. Is what it is. You see, if I do well with cabbage, the head cabbage, I have a couple relatives that would like to have them, so it's not like I'm over planting. See, I poked them down in a little hole afterwards. Like I said, they're sitting right on top of the soil, so that I can know that, yeah, I definitely got a seed in that cell. And then just poke them in and tap them like that. Then I can sprinkle water over the top, and I don't have to worry about the seed just being washed away. And the cabbage golden acre, which is one that I don't have on this list. But it being from last year's Shed Wars, sent this spring, then I figure it should be grown this year. I don't know, for 2 or 3 years of these. I turned off the camera. I didn't think you needed to watch me set 400 seeds in these little cells, but actually it ended up being only 200. So 1 row of broccoli Arcadia, 1 row of broccoli Romanesco. There's cabbage baby choy, early round Dutch, red express, golden acre, cauliflower, early snowball. Then we got snow crown, dill. Then there's a space because amaranth, love lies bleeding. I have 2, so the first one and the second one. Aster early charm. I'll probably put out a lot of asters around the garden. Echinacea, that's the one that of course you grow out to the 2nd year, so you have a flowering plant to sell. And Goji, Shanghai Express, the same ideal. Probably grow them all the way to fruiting if I can. And then the last one down, I only put in 1 row of Aunt Molly's ground cherry. I didn't plant these because I filled out that one tray and this is all I had left. So I'll plant these next week when I plant the peppers and tomatoes. A sea buckthorn, this is the flat that the sea buckthorn were in, and the one that I knocked the buddy over on was right here, and it died. The seeds, even though they were sprouted, they just rotted. And all I have now is just one left. You see it's got its first set of true leaves, and now it's putting out a second set of true leaves. So hopefully that one will continue to grow. Now I think I know the reason. And the clue would be in the name seaberry. I can't test for where they're actually native because I've never been to Europe. I have, however, been to the Oregon coast in the USA. And my initial research, my understanding would be they would grow in a similar environment. If you go to the coast, there's like a mile of sand before you get to the ocean. And in the back end of that sand, just before it turns into more of a shrubland forest area, so at the edge of the shrubland is kind of the environment I think they will grow in. So this soil has way too much organic matter, I think, and it holds way too much water. I have to wait now for the seed to come back in stock to get another set of seeds. But what I'm thinking is that maybe I'll mix it half and half with vermiculite or something to make a really light, well-draining potting mixture, and then try it again. I'm thinking that they should grow in that. Now, since once again it was a dud, if that one is a male, then I got a maid, but because I already have a female out in the garden. I planted out the rest of this with kohlrabi. This is early white Vienna going from here this way, and purple Vienna going from here this way. That was now on the 26th. So that would have been 5 days ago now. These are my Brussels sprouts. Coming along nicely. I separated them out and put them in this tray. The cell's no bigger. Some of the cells I had two plants in, and I just wanted to put them all out into single cells. And of course this is Long Island, the greener ones, and the ones with the purplish hue to them are Falstaff. I'm just waiting actually to see what Greta from Greta's Garden does, because I really don't know how to grow these. I just start them and I put them out in the garden when the time comes to transplant them out, and that's all I know. And like I say, if the fall is relatively warm, then I might get a few up in December. But this year we planted early because Greta, that's what she does. And if they get very much larger than that, will we put them up in another pot before we actually time comes to plant them outside? That I don't know. What I think I'll do actually is go buy that thing I had, and I'll put them out with covers over them. That sounds like a good idea. So things are progressing. Spring is near. Soon we'll be out in the garden setting these seedlings and more besides. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button for me, and yeah, make sure you're subscribed and come back for the next one. I'll see you in the next video.